Hi everyone, welcome to Ask Wardee. I am so thrilled you're here because we're going to talk about something that has been quite miraculous in my life and many of you as well, and many of your futures as well, and that is what a difference gut healing can make. And what I want to do today is break it down and make it so simple for you to implement, because I know it can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be that way. So before we get into all that, let me welcome you to Ask Wardee. I'm Wardee from Traditional Cooking School by Gnaufglens, and this is the weekly show where I answer your questions about traditional cooking and related topics, because what we cook nourishes or heals our bodies, so that's where gut healing comes in. If you're with me live on Facebook, hello, and Periscope, hello. If you're live on Facebook, Millie is right there in the comments, pasting links, answering questions, so be sure to interact and let us know what you need, because we're right there to answer your questions, and I will look later at your comments and questions. No matter what though, this is for all of you who, maybe some of you are already like, I gotta go, I don't have time for this. Guess what? AskWardee.tv, all the links, the transcript, everything I'm going to share is already right there for you. Look for episode 67. You'll get everything. While you're coming on live, please share your first name, like Mary Lou in South Carolina just did, where you're from and what you're sipping on, so that we can share what's nourishing our bodies. Okay, so here we go. Gut healing diets made simple. This is Ask Wardee episode 67. Again, all the notes are ready for you at AskWardee.tv. A lot of ground to cover today, but it's really simple. I'm going to start with a story. Actually, I'm going to start by telling you 3 unexpected consequences of gut healing in my life. 1, I could sing again. 2, I could wear perfume again. I still wear natural perfume made from essential oils. And 3, I could wear contacts again. This was after years of not being able to do it because of having seasonal allergies. And when I healed my seasonal allergies, I couldn't believe that these things that were off limits, again, unexpected results. They were off limits, but all of a sudden I could do them again. I was so thankful. I want to tell you the story. Until my late 30s, I suffered from lifelong debilitating seasonal allergies. And when I mean debilitating, they were, my body would just, from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed, just sneeze over and over and over again, especially in the spring and summer. But later on, toward my late 30s, it was year round. I was allergic to things year round in the air, and it was miserable. I did use over-the-counter allergy medications sometimes, but that was misery of another kind because it left me feeling dry like a desert. So it really was like a situation where I couldn't win. I was miserable without taking medicine, and I was miserable with taking medicine. And it was miserable for my family to be around me too, because you know what it's like, even if you love and care for the person who's suffering, if they're sneezing nonstop and their nose is dripping and they're itching and they can't talk or do anything because of this thing, it's a little bit annoying. So anyway, it was miserable. And then my life changed really in the best way possible. As a family, or 3 of the 5 of us, we embarked on the GAPS diet, and this was nearly 5 years ago. GAPS diet is a gut healing diet. We had several issues, and to be honest, my seasonal allergies were not even at the top of the list, because maybe you can relate to this. If you're a person who suffers from something, you have an illness or a condition, you've lived with it so long, it's almost like you have no hope. You're skeptical. Like, how could that possibly go away? That is me. My body just does that. How could I possibly feel better? So I honestly I was like, that would be nice, but I don't really think it's possible. Well, guess what? Within just a few days of going on the GAPS diet, my allergies were just completely gone. Just completely gone. I wasn't sneezing, no itchy eyes, no watery nose, no sore throat. The mark across my nose, that's the telltale sign of being an allergy sufferer, started to heal because I was no longer itching my nose all the time. Anyway, it was remarkable. It took just a few days, and so my skepticism was unfounded. We stuck with the diet for a few months though, and I still personally do not eat sugar or modern wheat. But it's nearly 5 years later now, and I still do not have even a drop of allergies. They just are completely gone. So I'm a huge believer now, having experienced the healing myself, that all of our health is tied to the gut. And sure, maybe my seasonal allergies were a mild thing. Really doesn't matter. We could all compare notes on, one suffering is harder than others, and sure there are, but they're all tied to the gut. And I think if you feel poorly and you start working on healing your gut, people often can start feeling average or even better than average. And people like me who probably were not suffering as hard as some begin to feel great. This is all possible with gut healing. And I think probably you're all following me now and you're probably saying, yes, yes, yes. But the other thought in the back of your mind is, but it's so overwhelming. The diet is so restrictive. I'm going to be in the kitchen cooking all day. How can I possibly do that? What am I going to feed my family if I have to cook separate, or they're all going to rebel? Well, we're just going to tackle all of that today because I want to tell you how simple it can be for gut healing. Very, very simple. And what I'm going to do is approach it today from the aspect of helping you understand the overall principles of a gut healing diet. And sure, you can go deeper and you can go, more nitpicky, if you will. And I have some great resources to tell you at the end, including how to get a free fermenting lid. So please stay tuned for that. Anyway, the point is to share with you some basic principles, and I have 4 to share, okay? 4 simple steps to gut healing. Now, I do always plan and prepare an Ask Wardee topic around a real question from one of you. And I happen to have about 10 questions in the queue about gut healing. So I'm hoping I'll answer all of yours together, and I'm going to quote one of them, and it's from my friend, actually real life friend and relation by marriage, Brenna H. And Brenna may be here listening, so if you are, hello, Brenna. Here's her question. She says, I am starting to consider doing GAPS, but to be honest, it's utterly overwhelming. My questions are, 1, have you tried it? 2, what issues were you trying to address? 3, how long did you stick with the protocol? And 4, did you notice any improvement? All right, so Brenna, quickly, a review my answers to your 4 questions because I'm going to go a little bit deeper. 1, have you tried it? Yes, you all just heard my story. 2, what issues were you trying to address? Well, for me, it was seasonal allergies. 3, how long did you stick with it? I stuck with it for about 3 months, but to this day, which is nearly 5 years later, my diet is probably 80% still, gut healing foods, and I still avoid modern wheat and sugar. Number 4, did you notice any improvement? Absolutely. I'm standing here before you, Brenna, and all of you, completely healed of allergies for going on 5 years now. Those are the simple answers. You had another question in there, though, Brenna, and it has to do with the words that you said, but to be honest, it's utterly overwhelming. And that's what I want to help you with. So I want to share for you, Brenna, and everybody else who's listening, 4 easy steps to embarking on any gut healing diet. This is not just GAPS. This is universal principles, no matter which gut healing diet protocol you follow. Okay, and there will be nuances in any protocol you follow, but you don't even have to have a protocol. You could do these 4 things, and that would peel back maybe the first few layers of your issues. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. Everybody's situation is different, and you may have all heard my interviews with Megan the past couple years, where for her, they started with GAPS. They had to go deeper. So everybody's situation is unique. But if you follow the 80-20 rule, you might find that 80% of the gut issues that we all face can be healed by these 4 simple principles. Okay? Number 1 is cut out the sugar. Cut out the sugar. While every step that we talk about today really is going to be important, this might be the key. And this is because if you don't have a healthy gut, that means your organism balance in there is off balance, and you probably have a lot, more than you should, undesirable organisms in there, and their food source is sugar. That's what they eat. So if you want them to die, you have to cut off their food supply. And I'm not just talking white sugar. There is white sugar on the list, yes, but I'm talking about a lot of fruit sugars, if not all of them. I'm talking about sugars and starches in grains, including gluten-free grains or other kind of starchy foods. Those are the sugars we're talking about, that if you cut those out, you will deprive your those undesirable organisms of their food source, so they will die off. So if you want gut healing, you have to stop eating all of that without delay. And it is hard, and there may be a time of adjustment when your body really has to wean itself off sugar, because sugar is literally an addictive food. So persevere. You may have headaches, fatigue, nausea, just generally not feeling well for a couple days to a week or two. You have to persevere through that, because not only are you addicted to sugar, not necessarily you, Brenna, but I'm talking you in the general public. Not only are we generally addicted to sugar, but the undesirable organisms that are in our bodies are feeding on it. You deprive them, and my understanding is they'll start releasing toxins and other things that wreak havoc in your body as a battle cry. Feed us, feed us. So you got to cut it out, and you have to persevere. That was number 1. Number 2 is focusing on what you need to eat, the substance of your diet. Eat lots of fats, cooked veggies, eggs, and meats. So these are the foods you're going to eat and eat and eat to help you be sated and nourish your body and give you the basic building blocks of nutrition. It's kind of like the paleo diet sans the sweets. We all know that there's, including our own site, there's paleo diets out there or paleo recipes out there that may be for sweets, and they're made with all paleo ingredients. Well, I'm not talking about that kind of paleo. I'm talking about the true paleo that's like meats and vegetables, okay? And if you're already eating whole foods, you're like way ahead in the game, because it happens to be very simple to prepare nourishing meals that will fit this kind of gut healing diet, simply by cooking a main dish meat and then accompanying it with a vegetable side dish. It's really that simple. And no matter what you're preparing, the main dish, the side dish, be generous with the healthy fats. And I'm talking about butter or ghee or coconut oil, lard, tallow, the healthy traditional fats. And you need those for energy, because you're not having the sugars. So you need a fuel source. And fats are healing, nourishing, they have vitamins. And if they're high quality pastured fats, they're going to have essential fat soluble vitamins that you really can't get elsewhere. So anyway, be generous with the fat when you're preparing your main dish meats and your side dish vegetables. I'm lumping all the possible meats, veggies, eggs, everything in here. You do, of course, need to work around allergies. And if you have severe food allergies, maybe you're not eating eggs at all, or you're not eating the egg whites. You're starting with the egg yolks because they're easier on the digestion. So basically, I'm giving you like all the foods that are within the realm of these are good for you on a gut healing diet, but you need to work with your allergies. Eat the ones that you can, fill up on them. Another thing that would fit in here are soaked and sprouted nuts or seeds, if those work for you, if you can tolerate them. And another thing about this category is, of course, it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it, you want to buy the best quality possible. So that means if they're meats, they need to be pastured, organic, just, they're grown well, they're healthy animals, which makes healthy food for us. Organic veggies, you want to avoid the chemicals and the pesticides and the antibiotics and everything else that would be in the conventional food supply. Generally, healthy people may be okay with making compromises on these things, but I believe if you're on a gut healing diet, you want to get as pure as possible with your foods. So maybe you have to do some budgeting around which of those can you afford. So instead of eating all of the possibilities, you're going to hone in on the meats, the eggs, the whatnot that fits within your budget, because those are the ones that you can afford in your area that are the purest quality. Last week's episode on Ask Wardee, I did talk about this kind of thing. Okay, so that was number 2. The step number 3 here of gut healing diets made simple is consume animal broths and soft tissues. Broth is so soothing, and it provides nourishing and protein assimilating gelatin to your body along with minerals. This is a quote from Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride, who is the creator of the GAPS diet. She says, "Meat and fish stocks provide building blocks for the rapidly growing cells of the gut lining, and they have a soothing effect on any areas of inflammation in the gut. That is why they aid digestion and have been known for centuries as healing folk remedies for the digestive tract." And she goes on to talk about chicken stock being particularly gentle on the stomach, very good to start from. She gives you a basic recipe right here for making your own chicken stock. And the important thing here is she also describes how it's important to strip off the soft tissues from the bones as best you can, and later add them to soups. You can blend them in so it's not an unpleasant texture, because the gut healing patient, if you will, the person on the gut healing diet needs to have the stock where the nutrition has been pulled from the bones, but those soft tissues are very important as well. So blend them into your stock too. Again, askwardee.tv, look for episode 67. You can read these instructions. I also have some links for you there. And if you're on Facebook or look below this video, wherever you're watching, Millie will give these links there. 8 ways to eat broth without drinking it straight. Because, number 3 here is you need to have a lot of animal broths, but it's hard to just drink it straight. I do think how do I say it? There's potentially 2 different responses to this. Is the person who will drink a lot of broth and then just gets so sick of it, they're like, I can't stand it anymore. The other person is like, I'm not sure I'm going to like this. Okay, I'll drink it. And they grow to love it and crave it. Add some salt, some unrefined sea salt. Makes it really tasty. I love a warm mug full of salty broth. Another link for you is 5 ways to make your broth more exciting. All right, number 4, we're to the final part of Gut Healing Diets Made Simple. Before I share further resources and tell you how to get that free fermenting lid, number 4 is to eat fermented foods. So if you remember back to number 1, where I was talking about starving the bad guys off by cutting out their food supply, sugar, that's one thing, but you also need to repopulate your gut with beneficial organisms. And you do that with fermented foods. Fermented foods have millions, billions of good guys in them. So eat fermented foods regularly. And I'm talking like a tablespoon of sauerkraut juice or a couple tablespoons of sauerkraut. Or you can have, if you can tolerate fermented dairy, you could have kefir or yogurt that you have fermented for 24 to 48 hours so all the lactose is reduced. There are so many ferments out there, so you can explore them. I've given you some very basic ones. The sauerkraut, kefir, or yogurt. If you have to be dairy-free, you could also make a coconut milk kefir. We have links to all of these on our site. I do want to make a caveat here about fermented foods, is that often people whose gut health is compromised, fermented foods, probiotic supplements, they just can't tolerate a lot of it. So you do need to go slowly. You do need to listen to your body. You can have increased detox reactions if you have too much of fermented foods. So in this case, it's not necessarily a rule of you can't have too much. You can have too much of a good thing if you're having strong reactions. So go slowly. Do what your body can handle. So the bottom line here is just really 4 things to gut healing. Yes, you can get more complicated, but do these 4 things. Cut out the sugar. Eat your fats, cooked veggies, meat, and eggs. 3, consume animal broths and soft tissues. And 4, I'll change the order of my fingers there. 4 is eat fermented foods. This is simplified. I'm not trying to cover all the nuances. What I'm trying to do is give you the big picture of what gut healing entails. And at this point, you could try this and see how you feel. You could also seek out a natural healthcare practitioner to get more in depth. You could purchase books and resources. You could take it a lot further, like look into detox practices, supplements, small tweaks, working around your allergies more. This was more the big picture. Now, when you're ready for more information, even simplified and doable information, but more information, there's a lot out there. And we do happen to have a really excellent resource that's available right now. It's starting today through Monday. So it's just 6 days only. It's called the Super it's called the Gut Health Super Bundle. It's a collection of 25 resources. They're easy to use. They're like ebooks and e-courses and videos, and even a conference recording package that's worth $99 all by itself. So 25 easy to use resources. They're all packaged together for 6 days. And the thing is, what makes it so great is all the authors, including me, have come together and said, okay, you can put our products together for a short time. And because of the nature of it, it means you get a huge discount. So you can get 93% off. The whole package is worth over $700, and you can get it for $29.97 through Monday. So there is a link with this video. Look for it. Millie's going to paste it, or I'll put it with the recordings. Couple things that are included. My lacto fermentation e-course is in there, our mini e-course. It's the complete lacto fermentation ebook. There's 10 videos to give you demos on fermented food recipes, and there's a bonus ebooklet. Also in the Gut Health Super Bundle are bonuses. So $44 worth of bone broth that you can have shipped to your door, kombucha making supplies. So those are really awesome bonuses. I do want to point out one of the books that I think fits awesome with what we're talking about today. It's called, I'll show you a picture here. It's called, I want to get that off there. Well, anyway, I'll show it to you how it is. It's called Zero Effort Gut Health. It's by Dina Norton. She has some credentials there too. The thing about this book, I looked through it, is where I've just given you 4 steps for making gut health simple. Dina goes just a bit further, but it's really simple. It's called Zero Effort Gut Health. She gives you 10 steps. She kind of breaks them out and does some different things. I love it when people do things like this, simplified explanations for topics that can seem overwhelming. We just need people to break it down and make it simple, because the fact is, if it's not something we can grasp, we're not going to do it. You have to be able to grasp it to do it. That's when you start winning. So I love this resource. So anyway, 25 easy to use resources are all bundled together, plus those bonuses, 93% off through Monday. There's a link with this video. I really want you to check it out. And if you do end up purchasing it, which anybody with gut issues, which is everybody, I think should at least check it out. If you do end up purchasing it, please make sure to purchase it after clicking a link on one of my emails or the AskWardee.tv archives or my site, because if you do that, I'll give you an extra bonus. And here it is. It is a free Pickle Pro fermenting lid. I love these. I'm so excited to share this with you because, like I was talking about in those 4 items you do, number 4 was fermented foods. And if you buy fermented foods, which is definitely an option, they're out there and they're great, they just cost more money. So you can save a lot of money by making your own. They're very easy. The Gut Health Super Bundle will have all of my recipes in the lacto fermentation e-course. You make them yourself, and you'll get much better results if you use a fermenting lid like this one. This is called the Pickle Pro. It's from Jerry at Homesteader Supply. Back when we started working together, when I first started sharing fermenting recipes online, she designed this, and all kinds of traditional cooking school people have them in their kitchens, I know, because she sells quite a few of them. Anyway, the reason this gives you really good results is, number 1, because if you used a regular lid on your jars, it builds up pressure. So this airlock right here allows, that's filled with water, allows those gases to escape into the air instead of building up in your jar. But the other thing is this airlock has a second function, and that's to prevent organisms and undesirable things from the air to get into your ferment, so you get a really much better result. So I love using these lids, and they fit on mason jars, so you don't need to buy any extra vessels. You just need the lid. You put it on while you're fermenting, and when your ferment is done, like this sauerkraut, you simply take this lid off, use it for something else, and put a regular lid on for storage in the fridge. So that's pretty much about it. How to get it free though, it's worth $14.99. You'll pay shipping. Shipping in the US is $5. So essentially you're getting, $20 worth for $5. It's an amazing deal. I really hope you grab it. So your steps to do it is, number one, purchase the Gut Health Super Bundle that's provided with this video. Purchase that using one of my links. And number two, you're going to go to tradcookschool.com/free lid. One word, free lid, to get the instructions to claim your free lid. It's basically those two steps. One, purchase the bundle with my link. There's a link with this video. And two, go to tradcookschool.com/free lid, all one word, to claim your free lid. If you'd like me to send you these instructions, I can do that. If you're on Facebook, that's really easy way. So go to tradcookschool.com/FB chat, all one word, FB chat, and then send me a message. And the only message you need to include in your message to me, the only word you need to include, in fact, only include this word to make it work, okay? Gut, G-U-T. Just put that one word in a message to me. Does that make sense? You go to tradcookschool.com/FB chat, all one word. That'll open up Facebook Messenger, and the only thing you type is gut and send it to me. And then I will reply with all the instructions I just gave you, all the links and everything, so you can easily follow them. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, and I look forward to going back and looking at your questions both on Facebook and Periscope Live. I've seen comments coming in, but it's hard for me to watch them and keep on track here. Actually, it's just hard for me to see from that far away. So recap here, the 4 steps of gut healing made simple is cut out sugar. 2, eat all the veggies, fat, meats, eggs that you can to sate your body. 3 is eat the animal broths and soft tissues, and 4 is eat fermented foods. And to help you with all of that, you can go further with the Gut Health Super Bundle that's on sale through Monday. And an exclusive bonus if you purchase through Traditional Cooking School is this free lid. So all the information is going to be with AskWardee.tv. Look for episode 67. Or of course you can chat with me on Facebook by just sending me one word in your message, and that's gut, G-U-T. God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week, same time, same place, okay? Bye-bye.